What is up, you guys? We are back with a great film today, and today's movie opens with Laura, a college film studies professor, waiting for her date Reggie at a restaurant. The nervous Laura gets a text from Reggie saying that he's lost. He calls her and asks if she could walk out of the restaurant and meet him. He lures her into an alley saying that he's walking through one, but as soon as she gets into the alley, his voice changes into the Ghostface voice, which is a scary, raspy voice, and he jumps out at her and reveals himself. He's wearing the infamous Ghostface all-black outfit with a white mask, and he stabs her multiple times, and the killings have now begun. The killer takes off his mask and we see Jason, a college student that just catfished and killed his college professor, Laura. He takes off the clothes and masks and walks casually out of the alley. On his way back to his dorm, he runs into Tara, who asks if he's coming to some frat party. Jason asks if her sister Sam is coming, and she replies no, and he heads to his dorm. When Jason gets there, he starts calling out for Greg, but Greg doesn't answer. Thinking nothing of it, he proceeds to put the bloodied Ghostface mask beside another one, both put as some sort of trophies. Jason gets a call from Greg, but when he picks it up, he hears the Ghostface voice. Although they agreed they wouldn't use the voice on each other, Greg tells him that he's just practicing. Jason mentions the frat party and that the sisters will be there, and they're planning on killing the sisters and finishing what the previous killer, Richie, started. While on the phone, Jason starts looking for Greg in the dorm and finds him mutilated in the fridge. The killer was apparently the one on the phone with him, and he jumps out and stabs him. The next scene, we see Sam sitting with her therapist Christopher in his office. Sam tells him that her father was Billy, the original serial killer who started these generational Ghostface killings. Her ex-boyfriend Richie got with her because he was a fan of her father, and he was also a serial killer. After they broke up, he and his girlfriend had killed some people and tried to pin it on her, and she ended up killing both. She shocks Christopher by telling him that it felt right and that she's worried about it. Christopher gets scared by this information and tells her to find a new therapist. While walking back home, she passes by police cars parked at Jason and Greg's place. She tries to call Tara, but Tara doesn't pick up, and when she gets to their apartment, Tara wasn't there. Their roommate Quinn tells her that she went to a party, and Sam leaves to go get her. At the party, some guy hits on Tara and takes her upstairs. Mindy and her girlfriend Anika see this. Mindy then goes to get Chad, and Chad was talking to his shy and timid roommate Ethan. Mindy takes Chad to Tara, and Chad hits the guy Tara was going up with, and Sam then shows up and tases him. They all walk back to Sam and Tara's place, where Tara tells Sam that she needs to let her live her life. While arguing, some girl throws a cup of soda on Sam and calls her a murderer. Apparently, some conspiracies have been circulating online that she is the Woodsboro killer, and she somehow managed to get away with it. They all get home, and Sam goes to see her boyfriend Danny, whose apartment is across from hers. Quinn consoles Tara and tells her that her father would not leave her alone either after her brother died. On TV, Jason and Greg's murder was being reported, and when they all see this, Sam tells her sister that they're leaving town. Quinn calls her father, Detective Bailey, to ask for details, and Bailey asks to talk to Sam and tells her that they found her driver's license at the crime scene and that she has to now come down to the station. When Sam and Tara leave for the station, the killer calls her from Richie's old number and tells her that he's on his way coming for them. He jumps up at Tara and tries to stab her, but they get away and go into a supermarket where the killer mercilessly kills all the customers trying to get to them. But they manage to push a shelf over him and get out. At the police station, Bailey tells them that the mask they found at Greg's and Jason's had Richie's DNA on it. The mask was taken from police evidence, and Reed, an FBI agent who went to high school with Sam and another survivor of the Woodsboro killings, shows up and offers to help Bailey. On their way out of the station, Gail, a journalist who wrote a book on the Woodsboro killings and called Sam a lot of names, shows up and apologizes and offers to help as well. On the next scene, the killer shows up at Christopher's house and kills him and takes Sam's files. And at the university, the sisters and their friends discuss what happened and who could potentially be behind it. When they get to Christopher's house, they find a mask with Roman's DNA, the Ghostface killer that came before Richie. And here they realize the killer is leaving them souvenirs of previous killers. That night, the sisters and their friends decide to stay at the sisters' apartment. The killer shows up in Quinn's room and Danny sees him from the window. He calls Sam, who was in the other room, but she doesn't pick up, and her and the other friends get a group message from the killer holding Quinn's dead body. The killer gets out and stabs Anika and slashes Mindy's arm. Chad and Tara run out, while Sam, Mindy, and Anika go into the bedroom and lock it. Danny gets a ladder and lines it between his and theirs window. Sam and Mindy get to Danny's apartment, but the killer gets gets to the room while Anika was on the ladder, then flips the ladder over and Anika falls and dies. The police and Reed show up, and Bailey is distraught over Quinn's death and vows to find the killer. Gail shows up and tells them she's found something, and she takes them to an abandoned theater where Greg and Jason had made a shrine of the Ghostface killers. The theater is filled with evidence from their crime scenes and costumes. Sam sees her father's costume and a knife, and she sees his face in the glass enclosed talking to her. He tells her that she should carry on his legacy and become a killer, and Reed shows them the scar on her stomach from the Woodsboro killings. Later, when the killer calls Sam, Reed tracks the call, and she tracks his call to Gail's apartment. Then Sam and Tara drive there to save her. At the apartment, Gail gets a call and her husband hands it to her saying that it's the killer. And the killer tells her that he's coming for her, and he kills her husband and tries to kill her, but she runs to her bedroom and she gets her gun and shoots him. She then goes out and tries to shoot at him again, but he tells her that he's wearing a bulletproof vest. She then fights him, but in the end he ends up stabbing her. And when Sam and Tara get there, Gail dies. Back at the police station, as everybody sits silently, Mindy is growing suspicious of Ethan. Ethan suggests that they go to someplace safe, and Tara calls Bailey and tells him that they want to lure the killer to the old theater and kill him there. Bailey agrees and they decide to take the train there. At the train station, there are lots of people wearing masks of famous killers, including the Ghostface killers for Halloween. While getting on the train, Mindy and Ethan get separated from the others, and Mindy is still very suspicious of Ethan. The next train gets there and they both get on it, and Chad texts her if the train came, but she couldn't get a signal to text him back. She feels extremely uneasy and she keeps seeing the killer. The train lights start going on and off, which makes her unable to see anything, and the killer then suddenly appears in front of her and holds her mouth and stabs her and leaves her on the train floor. Ethan then sees her and helps her get off the train and gets help. Reed meets them on the way to the theater, and Sam tells Danny that's as far as he can go since she can't really trust anybody. He leaves and they go inside the theater, and Reed tells them that there's only one way in and one way out of the theater, and she secured it. Sam goes to call Mindy, but she couldn't reach her, and when she stands before her father's costume, and he tells her that they're not safe, and she takes his knife and goes to clear the theater. Sam then gets a call from Bailey, and he tells her that Reed is the killer, and he also goes on to say that she was fired from the FBI because of her mental instability after the Woodsboro killings. Sam then runs to see if the door was open, but it's apparently chained and locked. And then, on the movie's projector, a movie footage of some Ghostface killers starts playing. At the snacks counter, Tara and Chad start flirting and they then start making out. As they were kissing, the killer comes and stabs her on the shoulder. She falls and Chad starts fighting with him, and Sam gets there and hits him and they run out of the theater. The killer follows them and they look for a way out, and Tara sees some sort of exit upstairs and they run to it. The killer gets to them and the sisters hold his arms and Chad hits him and he falls. Chad tells the girls to go, and when he was about to hit him again, another killer with a Ghostface mask stabs him from behind. The first killer then recovers and they then both stab him repeatedly. The sisters run out and they then see Reed covered in blood, and she has her gun out and she tells them that the killer hit her and locked the place down. Bailey then shows up and aims his gun at Reed, saying that she's the killer, and one of the killers comes from behind Bailey, and when Reed shoots at him to save Bailey, she misses and Billy shoots her down. When they turn to Bailey, the second killer comes behind him, and it's revealed that he, Quinn, and Ethan were the killers all along. They were all getting revenge for Richie, and Bailey is the father of all three. The theater was Richie's shrine, and Bailey had stolen the police evidence of other killings to help him make it happen. After Richie died, Quinn started the rumor that Sam killed him and his victims. He then tells Sam to put her dad's mask on so he can kill her. Bailey aims at Sam, and Sam tells him that his son cried before she stabbed him. Riled up, Quinn lunges at her and Sam hits her with a rock. Reed, who was only shot on the shoulder, shoots at Bailey and Ethan stabs her. After a long fight, Tara kills Ethan and Sam shoots Quinn, and Bailey still remained. Sam puts her father's mask on and calls Bailey's number. She talks to him with the Ghostface voice, and then she stabs him. And finally, Danny had called the police and he shows up with them, and the next day, Sam and Tara reunite with Reed, Mindy, and Chad, who survived their wounds, and on the last scene we see Sam dropping her father's mask on her way out. And this is how our movie today comes to an end. I hope you guys enjoyed this recap. Make sure to leave a like, leave me a comment, and most of all, subscribe to my channel. I love you guys so much, and I promise to see you on my next recap. Bye!